What's up, guys? I'm Luca Collins. This is
Connor Johnson.
And this is Two Guys, One Culture, our podcast about culture for UF 200. And we'll start off by giving our definitions of culture. Would you like to take the lead?
So we both came together to create our own definitions of culture, and what we created and got out of it was all the ways of life, including arts, beliefs, and institutions of a population that are passed down from generation to generation. Cultures can have a sense of shared patterns and learned behaviors and different customs, traditions, and etc. So, yeah, well, that sounds pretty good.
No, yeah, definitely. It's really just a group of people that all have similar
beliefs, traditions,
traits, even
traits, yeah.
I don't know an example, to be honest, but just stuff they celebrate all kind of correlate.
Yeah.
An example of culture. I'm 50% Italian. My mom's 100% Italian, and her parents and grandparents or whatever, they're all from Italy. So we celebrate a bunch of Italian traditions as a family that have been passed down from our Italian family. One example of that is every year on Christmas Eve, we do this dinner called bagna calda. It's garlic and anchovies boiled in oil, and then we put meats in it and it cooks it.
Sounds
whatever. It's really, really good. It's not necessarily a Christmas Eve tradition for Italians, but that dish and that dinner is Italian, and that's one thing that's been passed down from the Italian culture to my family. We also do some Irish stuff with my dad's side of the family, but he's not that Irish, so we celebrate St. Patty's, but that's about it.
Yeah. Makes sense.
But yeah, what about you?
Alright, so I grew up in a military family, and I've lived in many places across the country, and I've experienced a handful of different style cultures across the U.S. I was born in Illinois, and then we moved to Colorado, and then we moved to Texas, and then back to Colorado, and then to Alabama, and then back to Colorado, and then now I'm here in Boise.
So you got a ton of different,
culture experience, pulled a bunch of different styles from each state and each culture to just
What was your favorite?
I would definitely Southern culture was definitely
so Alabama and
favorite,
Texas.
Yeah. Alabama and Texas, there's great, amazing food down there.
Yeah.
My favorite.
Good
We had
good football down there.
every year in Alabama we'd have a crawfish boil where the entire
That's sick.
a couple towns would just come together in this beautiful neighborhood called the Waters, and everyone would just boil all different types of crawfish. There's got to be there were thousands of people there.
That's really
with
cool.
Bunch of different types of crawfish, and it was so good.
Another example for culture that in my life is in my hometown. I have a lot of Mexican friends. We come from different backgrounds. Mine's Caucasian and Italian background, and then there's Mexican background. But we all went to the same high school, so we have that similar high school culture together. Foster High School, go Hillman. And then even within those, I have my football team and all that. But it's just kind of cool to see those different cultures mix into
together.
one another culture. Yeah.
That's sick. Okay, this isn't specifically my experience. This is just a genetic broad term for our culture advancement. Growing up, our culture has always focused or has been focusing more and more on technological advancements, and has shifted the world's population to rely more on smart devices like AI or your phones. Everyone's on their phones 24/7 now.
Yeah.
So
social media is just
bigger. It gets bigger and bigger every year.
Huge in our culture.
Yeah.
America, at least.
ChatGPT.
Mm-hmm.
College students. Many students are hopping on that to get work done. Which I don't know if that's a positive thing, but
I think it is.
Yeah, we're students, so
and now transitioning into more subculture talk. Kind of what I was explaining before with my Mexican friends at high school at home. We have these different backgrounds and stuff, but at high school we're one culture, and then within that little subculture in my high school we have I have like my football team, like my culture and bond with those guys. It's totally different. Sorry. Totally different, and then my like non-sport related friends, that culture is totally different. And then like my leadership class culture, totally different.
Yeah.
What do you got?
In my family culture, we have like a lot of similarities, a lot of traditions, but when it comes to sports, we're pretty split up. My dad, my mom, my two brothers, me, we always grew up, or he didn't grow up, but like we're New York Yankees fans, and that's a baseball team in the MLB, right? And then yeah, I'm just making sure our audience knows. Yeah. And then my dad's brother is a Boston Red Sox fan. And
Ooh,
that's a big
clash.
Rivalry and clash right there. So those are like different like type of subcultures. Like they're all one family culture, but then they divide into like little different like sub sports cultures.
Rivals.
So, yeah, it's a big rivalry. So especially for like brothers, like that just adds more to like the brotherly rivalry.
Yeah, I always think it's kind of fun when like a married couple is like either huge Niners fan and a huge Seahawks fan, but like
they just clash.
What do their kids decide? Another example of subculture is going back to my Italian roots. The north and southern parts of Italy are like totally different. Like they kind of have some sort of feuds. Same thing with Ireland. Like Northern Ireland and Southern Ireland have like sort of feuds, sort of.
Yeah.
But they have different dialects. Like people from Southern Italy like hardly understand the people from Northern Italy because of the big accent and dialect differences.
Yeah.
And then even the foods. I learned this over the summer. I worked at a Italian restaurant, but it was like more Southern style, because like thick sauces, all that, like really big. And then my girlfriend worked at an Italian restaurant, but it was more Northern style, so it was like a little lighter, more meats and other stuff like that. But
shifting over to me, this is like more like the basketball culture style. Like being in a military family, I've moved many states, but like throughout my high schools, I was at 2 different high schools and on 2 different like separate basketball teams. And although like they all had like similar goals, like we all want to like win in the playoffs or whatever, both basketball teams like were like definitely like split up and practiced like different, like we practiced differently. We had like different team slogans for our games and practices, like different overall coaching perspectives, different team mottos, stuff like that. Just like they're in the same like basketball like culture, but then they just split off into different subcultures because they're just coached by different people. With
2 teams, 1 sport.
Yeah, that's
2 baskets, 1 ball. And then one more actually I had
2 players, 1 coach.
Yeah.
Although it'd be more like 10 players.
Yeah, like 10 players. Yeah. In my fraternity, this is a great example actually of a subculture. We have the culture of Boise State, and then a subculture of my fraternity, and then
different other fraternities.
Yeah, all those, and then we have the same values, in my fraternity, but we all come from different places and like backgrounds, and we're all just a total mix of guys, but we're connected under one organization with similar values and all that. But that's all I have.
All the different Fijis across the country.
Yeah.
Too,
That
like,
too.
Different.
They're all similar values, but they're just different personalities.
Yeah, different people.
All right. Well, that's gonna wrap it up for 2 guys, 1 culture.
Yeah, that concludes our podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like, comment, and subscribe. And
down below, comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe. Well, thanks for listening.
It's been real, guys.
Yeah. Peace.
That was sick.
That was dope.
That was so dope.